Hi, I'm Devin from Careerified. Welcome back to the living room. This week we are going to be talking about Ontario's community college system. The community college system was born in Ontario in 1967. It was the brainchild of our premier at the time, Bill Davis. I should say Centennial College got a bit of a jump. They opened in 66. That's a whole thing. So students who go to college can earn a number of different credentials. They will either get a certificate, a diploma, an advanced diploma, a graduate certificate, or in the case of many colleges, they may have the opportunity to earn a degree as well. The idea behind the colleges was to create learning centers that would exist in different pockets throughout the province, different areas of the province, and would be designed to educate students on specifics relating to that region's economy or their key industries. And even today, this is still achieved in a number of different ways. So one is that every single program at every single community college has a program advisory committee attached to it. It's also known as a PAC. Some of the members of each PAC are people from industry. And so these committees will meet annually, review curriculum, review industry needs, and figure out how to make them as close together as possible. So in that way, the colleges can often turn on a dime when it comes to changing the academics or offering new programs and designing new programs to meet needs. The other thing that you'll find in the college system, and I think this is something a lot of people know, is that the work is much more hands-on as opposed to university, which is much more theoretical. And so with that applied education, what you'll find is that a lot of the faculty are part-time teachers, but full-time members of whatever industry they teach about. So when they're bringing in, case studies for students to discuss, or they're designing projects or assignments, those are around actual things that are happening in their businesses or that are happening in the industry. For students, there's an enormous amount of flexibility available, and that can address a number of different student needs. So if you have a child who maybe is very driven, very goal-oriented, and maybe also a little bit bank account savvy, you will probably find that there's a college program they can get into that ties to a university program as well, and that's known as an articulation agreement. So for a student, let's say, who wants to study business, this is a really great example of this. They can obtain their 3-year diploma at a community college and then transfer those credits into year 3 of a Bachelor of Commerce program. Some colleges too have very specifically defined pathways where they'll have a 2+2, where students get a diploma. Some of the courses from the university are embedded into their 2nd year, and so they launch right into 3rd year after completing their 2-year diploma. So that's an option too. And in those cases, students are spending a lot less money to get 2 credentials that includes a theoretic founding as well as practical application in that field. Another way that I think the college system's flexibility can be really helpful to high school students is for the student who knows they want to pursue or need to pursue post-secondary education to get to wherever their career goals are sending them, but for whatever reason they aren't quite there yet. So that might mean that maybe they just kind of goofed off a bit in high school and their grades aren't good. Maybe they don't have U-level credits to apply to the university program they want. Maybe they're just, they're the kid generalist who has a lot of different areas of interest. They really don't know what to do. And so the colleges can offer flexibility that way, and fairly low risk to explore. First off, for most admissions, there are some very highly competitive programs. Every college, for example, will tell you that practical nursing and paramedic are highly competitive programs. Students will need 90s at least to get into those programs. But above and beyond that, in most cases, there isn't necessarily a minimum grade level required. So for a lot of students, as long as they have a grade 12 credit in whatever the prerequisite is, always English and sometimes maths or sciences or something like that, what it means is if they got a 56 or they got a 96, they're in. So that opens the door for a lot of students who maybe just high school just wasn't their thing. For the student who wants to try a lot of stuff, college tuition costs, I'm going to say 2 to 3 times less than university tuition does. And that gives the student a much lower cost way of exploring a lot of different academic areas through something like a general arts and science program. At the end of that, whatever college program the student takes, they can use their college marks to apply to another program instead of their high school marks. So that can work in a lot of people's favor as well. And of course, I mentioned in my video on apprenticeship, which if you haven't watched it, go check it out. For a lot of students who want to pursue a trade and have absolutely no idea how to get started, the colleges can be a great introduction that way too. So my tip for this week, check out college and see if there's an option there that might fit you. They have worked very hard to be very, very flexible. What about private career colleges? We will chat about that in another video. For this week, I would say go to ontariocolleges.ca. You can compare and contrast programs, and it'll link you right into the Ontario Application Service, Ontario College Application Service. You'd think I would know it by now, where you can actually apply to programs right now, as of November 14th, 2019, for programs beginning in anywhere from January 2020 to August 2021. Have fun checking out colleges. I'll see you next week for a new tip.